Time to paint Barry Burton alternate sculpt from the Resident Evil board game by Steamforged Games. Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video we will be painting up the alternate sculpt for Barry Burton from the Resident Evil the board game by Steamforged Games. This is his alternate sculpt where he wields the flamethrower. If you haven't been following my videos, I've been going through all the minis from the Resident Evil board game and painting them up one by one, and the last three videos I've done are of the advanced sculpts of the base characters. So this time it's Barry's turn. I do have lined up another boss mini that has been requested by one of my viewers, so that will hopefully be painted up shortly after this one. So this one will upload first and then that one will upload next. But yeah, so let's get into this. He was originally scrubbed in a warm soapy bowl of water. That's to remove any release agent off him, and then he was sprayed in Brainmatter Beige by the Army Painter line. So without further ado, let's get into painting Barry Burton. Okay, so first step for Barry, we're going to go in with Cadian flesh tone. And this is starting to get his skin painted. As always, get it on your wet palette, thin it down slightly, and just get started on filling him in. This will probably need 2 thin coats. I highly advise using a wet palette for this. It keeps your paints usable for longer. And I since getting one, I haven't looked back. I use it all the time. So I'll finish getting this stage done on him. We'll be back for the next stage. Okay, so that's the skin dry. I did 2 coats on there. Next up, we're going to go in with Skrag Brown, and this is going to be for his hair and his beard. So we'll get that filled in. This will probably need 2 coats as well. But just fill it in, like so. I will get this finished up and we'll be back. Right, so that step's done. Next we're going to go in with Doombull Brown, and this is going to be for his vest. As always, water it down and just slap it on. It's going to need 2 coats. Just steady hand, just avoid going over the whites of the sleeves underneath because they're still that colour, but steady hand, happy days. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. Next up, we're going to go in with Eshin Grey, and this is going to be for all his trousers. This is probably going to need 2 coats because it's quite a dark colour, and doing dark colours over light colours tends to need 2 coats. So I'll just get this filled in and we'll be back. Okay, so with the legs dry, we're going to go in with Rhinox Hide, and this is actually going to be for a little bit on his boots. So he has a bit of brown on his boots, around the side, like this bit here, around there, up and around the back like that. Do that for both shoes, and we'll be back. Next up, we're going to go in with Mournfang Brown, and this is going to be for all his straps and his belts, and also any pouches and stuff. So like here at the back, this pouch here, his belt around his waist, these straps along his back, like so. Then don't forget his gun holster at the front, and you might as well paint the handle of the magnum that's in his chest, his breast holster. It's all the same, but I'll get that done and we'll be back. Okay, so next up I'm going to go with Grey Seer, and I'm just going to use this to fill in the sleeves. like so. I'll get that done on both and we're back. And then we're going to go in Kantor Blue for the badge. So, next we're going to go Black Legion, and this is going to be for the gloves, the rest of the boots, this holster around his leg I've left to be done with this colour. I'm also going to paint in his gun this as well, his flamethrower, because it's a good base for silvers and gunmetals. So his boots round up to there, the toe cap, and then the laces as well. Then this holster around his waist, his gloves, and the entirety of the flamethrower. I'll get that done and we'll be back. Okay, so the blacks are down. Next up we're going to go down with Leadbelcher, and this is going to be for all the buckles and bits on some of the pouches and stuff, and also the flamethrower. So at this point, this is the last base coat to go down. So what you want to do after this is just take some time and just go back over everything that you've done with all the previous steps, and just make sure it's all neat and tidy up to your liking. On the back of these gloves there's little metal bits, so fill them as well. So I'll get this done and tidied up, and then we'll be back for the washing stage. Okay, so now we're on to the washing phase of this. So for this we're going to use, our first shade is going to be Nuln Oil. And this is going to be used to shade the trousers, the shoes, the gloves and the gun, the flamer. So try your best not to get any of the wash onto the fingers when doing the gun. And just take your time. Make sure you give the pot a good shake before use to mix up all the pigments inside, so we don't want any shiny models. Shiny model syndrome. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. Don't forget when washing with Nuln Oil to thin it down and just put a quick wash on the white sleeves as well. And next, for the next stage, we're going to go in with Reikland Flesh Shade, and this is going to be for the rest of the model. So this is going to be on the brown jacket at the back, well, on his person, and his skin and his pouches. So I use a thinner brush on this. You should probably wait until it dries, the previous step, but I just want to get this done so I can wait until tomorrow for it to all dry. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. Okay, so all the washes are complete on Barry here. So we're going to start off by highlighting up the skin. So we're going to go back in with our original colour, and that is Cadian Flesh Tone. For this we're just going to start filling in where the wash went. We want to get about a 90% coverage of what the wash went over. This would, I use that as a good baseline, because then it leaves just enough in the recesses. I'll finish getting that done and we're back. As you should know, before I go any further with the skin, I'm going to go in with P3 Moral White, and I'm just going to fill in the eyes because it's easier at this stage before we do all the highlighting up to get the eyes dotted in, and then you can sort of correct as you go with the highlights. A bit too much on there, so perfect for correcting. And I'll just go in with Black Legion for pinprick for the eyeballs. Nice and easy. Okay, so that's the eyeballs. I mean, they're not perfect, but I don't think they look too bad. Obviously, the eyes are a completely optional stage. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I thought I'd give it a go. Anyway, next step is Kislev Flesh. And just mix this in with the previous step to get a nice sort of mid-tone. And again, just focus more on the upper areas here. bits that will be facing the light. And I'll finish getting this done and we'll be back. And finally, mix in a bit of Flayed One Flesh with the previous colour, just to get a nice sharp highlight. And again, this is going to be even less on the top parts, just to accentuate muscles and stuff, like the bridge of the nose, the tips of the ears, top of the arms, and then just, yeah, the tips of the fingers. So. Next we're going to go up with Skrag Brown, and let's just do a bit of highlighting on his hair and beard. Not too much here, just a tad. So I'll keep to the lines of the hair. So. Okay, so next up we're going to go onto his vest. So for this we're going to go in with Doombull Brown mixed in with Mephiston Red to get a browny red sort of colour. So just on a wet palette and just mix it in like so, and I just make this our first highlight. So. Keep into the upper areas where light would fall. I'll get this finished and we'll be back. Why is it not focusing? Sorry. Yeah. Next step, we're just going to add even more Mephiston Red to the previous stage, just to get like the top brownish reddish highlight. So this is even more use this even more sparingly, just for the top of the folds, top of the shoulders like that, around this puffy neck bit, and any edges and any creases really. Try to keep it as simple as possible. That's it. There we go. Next up, we're going to go in with the with Mournfang Brown, and this is going to be for his pouches and any straps that were this colour originally. And we just start filling in. Right, so try and be as steady as possible here. We don't want any cross contamination, as it were, of other parts. So I'll get that finished and we'll be back. And then Skrag Brown for the top highlights for these bits. And again, for this, just keep to the sharpest edges and to the tops of, I'll go over this strap over the shoulder here. And sort of the top of these straps here, like that. Don't go too mad. Corners, edges, and tops. That's all you want to do. Final step for this, we want to mix in a bit of Balor Brown with the previous step, just to get a nice highlight to that. And just use it sparingly. So just a bit at the top, just a bit on the edges, like so, and around the belt. Nice and easy. Next up, we're going to move on to his trousers. So for this, we want Eshin Grey, and we're just filling in here what's previously coated with the Nuln Oil. So again, 90% of what was coated before. Keeping mostly to the knees and the top of the folds and stuff. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. Next up, get Adminitsratum Grey, and we're going to mix this in with the previous step to get a nice mid-tone here. Again, focusing more to the top part of the legs, sharp bits of pouches and stuff, and the sorts of creases. So, and final step for the trousers is just pure Adminitsratum Grey. And this is going to be the very tops, at the knees maybe. Tops of creases. Don't go too mad here. So, creases like there, around the leg, around the back, those bits there, these creases at the back. I say. So, Rhinox Hide, and this is just for the shoes, the side parts of the shoes. So, because it was painted with, washed with Nuln Oil, it's a bit darker. So we just want to bring back that original colour, more on the outside than the inside of the feet. Yeah. Next we want to mix in a little bit of Mournfang Brown with that previous step, just to get a nice mid-tone. This is like the highlight. So. Be quite subtle, this bit. Most people, if they're looking at it, probably won't notice it, but you will, which is good. Right. The first stage of painting the blacks is Dark Reaper. And get that on our wet palette. And just start filling it in, like so. The laces, the curved bit on the boot. And sharp edges on this holster here at the back, on the side even. And then top of the gloves really, and the curved bit like that. And the fingers, like so. And the back of his hand, like that. And the next step, we want to mix in some Ulthuan Grey with that Dark Reaper to get our highlight for this. So on the boots, just even smaller amounts on the curved bit than we did previously. It'd be just very subtle on the laces as well, like that. Don't go crazy. And then a little bit on the gloves. That's it. And then the fingers there. And then on the side of the glove as well, like so. Next up, we want grey Seer, and this is going to be for the sleeves. Just fill that in around the edges, just to bring back that original colour. And sort of focus more on the top for this side. So, like that. Final highlight for the sleeves is Ulthuan Grey. And this is going to be focused more to the edges of the sleeves and to the top really. To the top here. And then sort of around the edges, let's say. Like that. Now for the badge, we want Kantor Blue, just to fill it in, because it was darkened down, like that. We want P3 Moro White, and this is going to be for like a little edge highlight, and just trying to sort of go around the edge and just try and make out, you don't have to actually put letters, but if you do little dabs like that, it's almost like you could say that there's a border, like so. There you go. Finally, the Averland Sunset, and this is going to be for the 3 stars on the shoulder pad. So, get a little bit on your brush. Don't want too much, because otherwise it'll make a big splodge. And we just go dot, dot, dot. There you go. So, And finally, we're going to go with Blood for the Blood God, and to show that he's been wandering the mansion a bit. He's got a couple of cuts and bruises on him. For this I use a one of the paintbrush bristle tubes to keep bristles nice and straight, and then I chuck a sponge inside it, then just dab it on like so. A little damage on his arm maybe, and yeah, and always dab it off on a bit of tissue paper, and maybe just down the leg here, maybe this arm as well. That's it. I'm going to go in with Black Legion, and I'm going to write stars on his back. I always start off with the middlemost letter, so that's an A, and then it's work either way. At least you know where the center point is then, so I'll get that done. There you go, not perfect, but serviceable. So I quickly did one more stage on him. I wasn't quite happy with how the vest turned out, so I just gave it a quick wash in Carroburg Crimson. And there he is, Barry Burton, with the rest of the crew so far. That's all the advanced sculpts, or alternate sculpts as you could say. Well, the first of many for some of these characters. I mean, Jill's got like another 3 or 4 sculpts. Chris has got a few. And most of the other Stars members have 1 or 2 more. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave me a like and subscribe. Also, I linked in the description is my PayPal. If you would like to donate to there, please do. Any funds on there will go into improving the quality of these videos, and I'm currently saving up for a new painting lamp. So yeah, if you would like to help me towards that goal, chuck in a request as well, and I'll try and get that painted up. So I've still got a few members of the Stars to go, and some other monster minis. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Happy painting.